People love to say, oh, she let the fame get to her. And then I'd be kind of confused because if I would have let fame get to me, I wouldn't be going to balls. I would just be living my life, going to the places and being around the people that celebrate me immensely with no hate, jealousy, or envy. But I come back to the community because this is where I'm from. I belong here. This is my home. This is a part of my history. Like, there's no Leiomy without ballroom. But ballroom didn't build me. And that's the problem. Because they can't take that. I've been a part of ballroom for 22 years. And this is actually my first ball. I kind of always wanted to throw a ball, but I didn't want to fail. I'm not saying that because I fail in anything, but it's because of ballroom in a sense. Like, even putting together this ball, it was a little disappointing that none of the houses bought any tables. And then once I cut off the table sales and people started seeing that a lot of people were coming, the headaches. Now everybody started reaching out to me and I'm like, it's too late. I've been to so many balls for so many years. I see so much that's missing at these balls. I see how people who throw balls, they don't really cater to the community. They kind of like just throw tables together. The decor is very minimal. I wanted to give ballroom a reason to see their worth. So when they go to balls in the future, they could be like, no, I went to Leiomy's ball and you know, it was this and this and that. And they kind of didn't really give me that chance because they didn't get tables. They support people who really are turmoil to the community. And I love to say stuff like that because Jay can't take me. I'm a bitch who always keep it real. And yeah, I have a name, but my name is beyond ballroom, and that's something that ballroom can never be able to take. I went to Japan before for a ball. They literally gave everybody 45 seconds for their turns. They gave like the battles a minute, and they had everyone sign up ahead of time so they know exactly how many minutes they're gonna need, how much time. I was sitting there gagging like, bitch. But that kind of structure is needed, and we don't have that.
So do you put any of your own money into
Yes.
making this happen?
Yes,
So-
I basically put half of the money in, half of the money, and then half came through the sponsors. But it's so worth it. I woke up today with such great energy. I woke up to so many of my friends and my kids sending me messages and stuff, sending me so much love, and it just felt good.
So throwing a ball is not about making money.
For the people, it is. For me, I wanted to also introduce the nonprofit, which is Ballroom Scouts. One of the main goals for me as a co-founder, I want to eventually have a venue for us, a ballroom space that belongs to us. That's something that we don't have. Initially, with the house tables being sold, I wanted to give out some scholarships to a few trans girls. And also I wanted to give out raffles throughout the ball. Just give out money here and there, because why not? But if I had the proper support through houses and stuff, I could have done that. It's kind of sad because a lot of times you get discouraged from wanting to help a community when they don't support you back.
Why do you think they weren't buying the tables?
I don't know. I just felt like maybe the ballroom felt like they wanted to humble me somehow. You never know. But they can't do that. Bitch, I am Wonder Woman, bitch. What? I can't be humbled. I'm a natural humble girl, so no one can humble me. I know who I am. I know what I deserve. I know what I give off. And one of the most important things that I told myself coming into the scene when I was younger, I looked around and I seen so many people that were in pain and they inflicted that pain in other people. And I told myself, I said, I never want to be the negativity I went through. I never want to be the pain that I went through. I always wanted to be positivity.
From legendary to iconic, from child to daughter to mother to legend to icon, from Fake Queen performance ingenue to her destiny as a true, beautiful doll of ballroom. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to reintroduce to you my bloodline, the drop-dead gorgeous bloodline, La Mujer Maravilla, Fifth Queen Face. This is Leiomy, the icon.
Mother is leaving the East Coast, finally. I'm taking my ass to the West Coast and taking my career where it needed to be 5 years ago. So yes, this ball is basically a farewell for now because I will be back in a couple of years. But it's a farewell to New York. I wanted to do it with a big bang. My birthday is in 2 days. Why not? Fifth Element is actually one of my top 5 favorite movies ever from childhood. Like, I watched Fifth Element so many times. It's a ballroom, they think Fifth Element as voguing, but for the movie, it has a specific meaning behind it. Each stone is supposed to be earth, air, water, fire. And then the fifth element is love, something that's missing in ballrooms. Everything is performative nowadays. People only show love because they're being seen. They're not showing love because they genuinely feel love for their people. A lot of people don't genuinely still have love for ballroom. It's more so, I still need my house to be fab. I still need my legacy to still be thriving. It's not about putting back to the community, giving back to the community, and supporting the community in other ways that are not just ballroom.
This is the problem that happens with ballroom. Let's take a second, because I have time. One thing about ballroom, y'all are so stuck on shade and bullshit that y'all allow shade and bullshit to take over you. It should never be personal. Never. Hold on, y'all. Please be quiet because I'm losing my voice and I don't live here. Hello. When it comes to my judges, I picked each and every judge specifically because I know them. They know them, but I know they're going to be fair. I understand that you might feel like you got cheated, but this is not the time to be disrespectful to our panel. Ballroom is beyond competition. We have to understand that we have to have love, respect, and I'm sorry, but it just pisses me off to see people out of order.
Now, we gonna chop. She been doing this all night.
Listen.
That's shade, that's personal.
I'm sorry, listen.
She can
But why would it be personal?
Because she's like this. That's shade.
That's how she is.
No, she can have this time.
How?
People don't care to you.
How are you?
She been doing